I pointed out where I was from to my ex-girlfriend on a map once. I got it wrong. My grandfather once said, Erkek olacadi, oldu. There was supposed to be a boy, but they turned out a girl. My family's village lives on a border. We carry what-ifs like old trinkets. They are not odd to us. Where am I from? I'm from a question mark. I'm from all the times that I got asked to leave public bathrooms. I'm from healing. I'm from becoming. I'm also from a place that has the biggest vine tree. They charge a lot of money for stuffed vine leaves in the UK. When I was younger, I watched the river dry up in our village as summer came. When I was younger, I got beaten by some boys who didn't like that I wore the same clothes as them. I was a child who learned to stay quiet as the army jeeps drove by. I was also a child who played boxing with my reflection in the mirror. Shirtless, throwing punches at myself. I bound my fists with bandages that years later I would wrap around my chest, trying to compress what grew there. I drew a line down my center, labelled it border. Phil was the first person who called me handsome. I didn't realise how much I wanted that word until somebody said it to me. Downstairs, my grandmother watches gay conversion therapy shows on Turkish TV. She is afraid, more than anything, of snakes. And I am afraid more than anything of myself and how I will limit myself, trying to be a more acceptable version of other. You see, I've been unlayering my body and observing it in jars. Sometimes returning home is getting on an airplane. Sometimes it's undressing myself. Sometimes it's dressing myself. When I was younger, I watched the river dry up in our village as summer came. When I was younger, I got beaten by some boys who didn't like that I wore the same clothes as them. They made a playground and a junkyard of my body, and I haven't painted the swing since then. Did you know that they banned sack racing because of health and safety? Trauma is generational. It passes between bodies long before they are pushed out into this world. Conflict is generational too. I hope that when we can find peace, we will pass it downstairs. My grandmother makes dolma. She wraps vine leaves around rice so tight. She places the little parcels between us. This is her offering, food from her childhood. I wonder what it feels like to carry recipes for more than 70 years when I'm trying to escape my past already. People look at me and they ask me what I am. Do you see my gender? It is practiced, sharp as a knife, tender as an eggshell curated. Do you see my family history? It is fragmented, followed by war, mapped out in the food that we eat, and old photographs full of wounds. Do you remember a time you were brave? Can you remember your softness leaking from your pores and between your fingertips? What does it feel like to catch